Welcome to the Centaur Podcast. I'm Cameron Adibi, and together we will explore the fascinating world of horse-human communication and the extraordinary connections they develop between our species. Join me as we delve into the unique ways humans and horses connect and understand each other. Through discussions with true innovators, we uncover the subtle cues, bonding techniques, and emotional connections that enrich our relationships with these remarkable animals. Whether you are a seasoned equestrian or simply curious about the language of horses, there's something here for everyone. I had the good fortune to speak with Kristi Huddleston. She is the founder of Harmony Hope Stables in Palm City, Florida. Her dedication to working with children in need is deeply rooted in her own experiences with childhood trauma. Having grown up in a difficult environment with an alcoholic father, Kristi attributes her healing journey to the support of a skilled therapist, the influence of music, her bond with horses, and her faith. She established Harmony Hope Stables as a sanctuary for children dealing with autism, ADHD, abuse, and mental challenges. As a licensed path therapeutic instructor and a musician and songwriter, Kristi recognized the potential of integrating music with equine therapy. Sit back and enjoy this interview. All right. So I like to just go right into it because I do respect your time, and I have so many questions for you. But
well, fire away.
Okay, so thank you. So you got so much going on, so many things going on there. But first, real question is, why is it so powerful to combine equine therapy and music therapy?
So we combine equine therapy. We've done music therapy here at the farm before as a separate lesson. We do combine music in our sessions. We'll do musical activities with the horses, but I just want to clarify, we do not do music therapy and equine therapy at the same time.
Okay, thank you for that.
Because if we're going to call it music therapy, which there is music therapy, it's certified music therapists that facilitate those lessons. And we have had that here at the farm before. But anything that we do musically right now, maybe we'll be, in a paddock with horses, and we take guitars and go play for them. We sometimes have students that bring a violin to the farm and they play for the animals. So for me as a songwriter, I understand how powerful music can be. It's been studied for centuries. Science has proven that music, learning to read sheet music and play a musical instrument at the same time raises the IQ in math and reading. But music is also very therapeutic and healing. So I'm a huge believer in having music at the farm every chance we get. Sometimes we're just playing the panda drum even for the horses. And what the beauty in that is that not only is the student getting the benefits of the therapeutic music, horses actually react in a very interesting way. They tend to, they're drawn to a panda drum, or if we're playing guitar for them, we create soothing sounds. We're not like out there banging away on a drum, although you can. And that might just get a different reaction from a horse, depending on the horse. But music it's been around for centuries, and it's scientifically proven. And then there's a ton of research behind why equine therapy works as well. So it's a good combination if you can bring the two together.
I really congratulate you again. I have your dream come true, because I'm just just starting this process up here in Massachusetts. But yeah, you said it. Music is as old as time, as old as humans. With it, the first musical instrument I read somewhere was a bone flute 40,000 years ago.
Oh.
Right?
Cool.
But I mean, humans were probably what? They were probably using either clapping their hands or, using their bodies or singing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The voice was probably one of the first instruments, like mimicking nature or maybe even mimicking a horse, call out. Who knows, right? So
Who
you
knows?
tap into something. I think this is incredible because horses too. We've now know, their ancestors are older than our ancestors, so they were listening to us play
Yeah.
music probably in the distance. But just to you're one of those one inspiration to me because you're following your dream, and so you have your own farm in Florida, Palm City. Can you just describe Harmony Hope Stables, and physically, but also spiritually? What is it? What's it like there?
So Harmony Hope Stables, we are actually on 5 acres. And what I really love about our farm is that we have a lot of gorgeous trees on the property. And whenever I was searching for my 5 acre lot, there's a lot of property that had no trees. And as soon as an agent would show me that lot, I would, sorry, nope, there's no trees. We're out of here. Sure, I could have planted trees or whatever, but that would have taken, maybe 20 years to get some of the nice trees that we have here. So when we found this property, I just fell in love with it. And I believe that nature is a big part of healing. We're again, science says we're supposed to be in nature at least a few hours a week. I need it a few hours a day personally, but it's a beautiful property. We have a gorgeous pond, and as soon as people step onto the farm, people, I just see they take a deep breath and they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful here." And so the therapy has already begun as soon as they get out of the car. And even for the parents that are here waiting while their child is receiving equine therapy, there's parents that we've welcomed them to enjoy the property while they're here. There's places where we say, "Oh, you can go sit over at Serenity Circle. Here's another waiting area. Go for a little nature walk, mom, while you're here." Instead of these parents being plugged into their cell phone or just sitting in their car or something. We also have a beautiful waiting area inside the barn as well with air conditioning, which is really nice in our Florida heats during the summers. But yeah, the property is it's beautiful, and we're always doing more to enhance the property every chance we get. And so physically, that answers that question for you. Um, Actually, you know what? I would actually love to share about our grass right now because it's really hard in Florida in the wintertime. Our grass dies, right? And then it's just a lot of sand, which can actually not be good for horses. They can sand colic if they ingest it too much when they're trying to eat the little weeds or whatever. But we have learned how to grow grass because we were able to install irrigation last year. And right now we've been growing winter rye, and it's beautiful. And it's so wonderful that I've been doing barefoot walking because a few people were telling me about how important it is for us to walk around barefoot, that it's very grounding and very therapeutic. And sure enough, I Googled it and there is a lot of research about barefoot walking. So one of my pastures right now that has this, it's really soft, the grass. It's a different texture than our spring grass, which is Bahia. And it's really soft. And so, and it's this like almost like a lime green color. And it's just gorgeous. So I did this whole 30-minute barefoot walking grounding thing recently. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to let some of my students do some barefoot walking. And then you have horses in the pasture that you're able to see while you're doing that. So the property, I'm really proud of the aesthetics here. And then as far as spiritually, so I myself personally believe that having Harmony Hope Stables has been such a huge blessing in my life. And I truly have so much joy to be able to share this farm and help heal others. And so we just spread that love whenever participants are here. And my whole team that's within our organization, anytime we get a new volunteer or a staff member that's going to be part of our team helping with the equine therapy, I pretty much tell everybody right from the get-go that we're about positivity, we're about love, empowering one another, even our staff, our volunteers. Nobody's better than the other one. That we just need to spread and literally ooze positivity out of our pores, because we are here to empower and heal and uplift. So we need to share that type of vibe. And so, and I am a believer in energy, good positive energy. I'm also a believer in the Lord. And so I do pray often. And we have a prayer palette that's inside the barn. It's beautiful, and it's got lights on it. And it's literally a wooden pallet that we turned into what we call the prayer palette. And we write prayers on there, and anyone that's here is able to do that as well. And I go to my Serenity Circle and I pray there. And that's a healing area, by the way. Serenity Circle we built a few years ago. Sadly, I suffered a lot of grief in 2021. I actually lost 5 people within 8 months. And that's a whole nother story. But anyhow, out of that, we built this, it's like a 30 diameter round pavered circle. And we have a tree that had to be cut down on my property when we were building here. And I'm a tree hugger, so I did not want that tree to be cut down. And I literally was teary-eyed watching the tree come down. Yeah. And I begged them not to take it off of property that day. I said, please just leave that tree log here and put it over there right now. And I'm going to figure out something to repurpose that tree with. And we actually made tree stumps, seats that go all the way are these beautiful tree stumps now that offer.
I saw that. Yeah. That's part of your equine meditation that you offer. But yeah, you just gave a really beautiful description. I could feel the warmth and peace at your stable, at your Harmony Hope stable. So thank you. And and I have to ask about your herd. Who was your herd? Who are the animals?
The herd we have right now, we have 4 horses. We have 2 little mini horses named Melody and Harmony. Those are the first 2 horses that moved to Harmony Hope Stables when we bought the property back in 2019. And then we have, we've had a few different horses here. We've had some rescue horses here. We had the amazing Rio, the rock star, who passed last year. And now we have Sozo and Seuss.
Okay.
And that was just accidental that those 2 names came together. But Sozo his name actually means rescued, saved, mind, body, spirit, made whole again. It's a Greek name. And so whenever I found Sozo, his original name was Mario. And I'm like, oh no, we gotta come up with something else. But sometimes I call him Mario Sozo, my love. But Sozo he's a black gelding Morgan, and he's 12 years old, and he's amazing. He truly loves doing equine meditation.
Cool. Is he he's the darker horse that you have in the photo, and I think on your website. Is he like lying on the ground in the middle of the circle there?
Yes, that's him.
Okay, good.
He goes into meditation himself, because when we're doing equine meditation, so we're doing very deep heart-focused breathing, and I'm guiding the group through several different meditations within an hour. But often there's times that Sozo will lay down because he's at such peace, and he has his eyes closed, his lip is hanging, he's twitching as if, he's in total REM sleep.
Oh man, I love him already.
it's cool to watch
Yeah.
him do his work. And
So
then there's
yeah.
Zeus is the white horse.
Okay.
There might be some photos. There should be a photo of her on our website, certainly on our Facebook page. I'm
Yeah.
always making posts there.
Yeah.
And Zeus she's a 16-year-old Percheron Andalusian cross.
Mm.
And she's just a real gentle, sweet spirit. Everybody loves her. We call them yin and yang, because she's white, he's black. And one time they were like doing mutual grooming.
Yep.
And I got a good photo of that. I'm like, that's yin and yang right there. And then call them the bride and the groom sometimes too.
Yeah.
So, because she's white. But I wanted to also, before I forget, when we were talking about music. So, are you familiar with sound healing?
Yeah, so this is what I have so many questions for you, and we're gonna try.
Okay.
But so
Gotcha.
I do. Guess what? I'm doing sound healing here in Massachusetts with the Crystal Singing Bowls.
Oh, I love it.
So
yes.
I mean, I want to. We should let's just go into the equine meditation, because that is such a huge piece that I'm just discovering. So I do too. I allow the herd. I have 4 horses here that I work with, and I allow them to free roam like you, and either mostly in an indoor arena. I have advantage. Well, first of all, we have nasty winters up here, but
right.
So, and then I invite people in, and then I've been doing a little mixture of, but it's either moving meditation or seated meditation, and I'm playing the singing bowls along with a rain stick and now I have to get a panda drum now that I see you got one. So I'm like, this is my next purchase. But it's just like, it's mind boggling. So why is it work so well? Why do you think equine meditation is such? What are the horses? How do the horses, like you just mentioned already? One of your horses, but what's going on that's just so powerful about equine meditation?
Well, there's a few things that I can share with you on my personal thoughts of why it's so powerful. And then there is also science to back it. So if you look at the Heart Math Institute, they have a study that they have done with heart focused breathing with a human sitting in a chair next to a horse. And there's a great video that the Heart Math Institute has, and I actually share that video. It's on the home page of my website.
Oh, it is. I didn't see that. Okay, I'll take a look.
Oh, you've got to watch it. It's incredible. It's like a 3 or 4 minute video.
Okay.
And you're going to love it, especially since you're telling me that you're doing the sound bowls and you're into this whole equine meditation.
And thank God for the Heart Math Institute. That quote, that is the one piece of everybody quotes that research. But please continue, because it's such a good story.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So, and somebody passed the information to me a couple years ago that saw this Heart Math study, and I was blown away by it. And from that day forward, a few years ago, we started doing heart focused breathing all the time here.
Awesome.
And then later on, I became I took the course where I could facilitate actual equine meditation. But what happens is the horses have a coherent heart pattern, and our heart pattern, us humans, because of anxiety and life, our heart pattern is not consistently coherent. And horses, they live, for the most part, they live in the present moment. Not always. I mean, like my horse Sozo, he's very environmentally sensitive, and he can actually spook fairly easy, actually. And he's highly intelligent, and he's highly in tune with energy. But so horses have the coherent heart pattern, living in the present moment, and they also have an electromagnetic field of energy around them that is 5 times the size of ours. So our EMF is like between, I think it's 8 and 12 feet, right?
Right.
A big horse has 50 to 60 feet of an electromagnetic field of energy. And believe it or not, a mini horse, but it makes sense, little minis, their electromagnetic field is only 2 times or 3 times the size of a human. So theirs is like 20 or 30. So now, when we began to do heart focused gratitude breathing. After 3 minutes, science has already proven that it lowers cortisol in our brain. And it increases our short-term memory by 24%. Our long-term memory increases 44%. We achieve better sleep, better mood. Our hormones level out. All kinds of benefits have been proven just from 3 minutes of heart-focused breathing a day. And the benefits last for 6 hours. So now, if you imagine you're in an equine meditation circle, and you're doing this heart breathing, and the humans are starting to relax, and you're in the electromagnetic field of these majestic, amazing animals that are holistic healers. The you can see the difference in the horses right away,
right?
And the way they start to interact, right. And they will start going to people.
Exactly.
Healing them.
Exactly.
It's cool to witness.
I'm always encouraging people to let it happen, because the first thing is they want to reach over and touch the horse and grab them. But like, let it happen. They're coming over for a reason. But yes. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. You described it so well. So you're doing this outside, and they're free roaming. How many people in general?
So I like to keep the group small.
Yeah.
I will only host a group of 4.
Excellent.
And because we're inside the round pen, and you just want to be very respectful of that space. You know, you're bringing horses into a smaller area, and then people, and there's a safety factor. You've got to keep everybody safe. So we have also done equine meditation in one of my paddocks. That's bigger than the round pen. And I like that as well. So I usually have 2 horses with 4 people, but last Sunday I did an equine meditation here, and we brought the minis in as well. So I had 4 horses.
Awesome.
And it changed the dynamics a little bit of the herd, of course. But everyone was safe, and the meditation went really well. And do you know, every single equine meditation I've hosted, there's usually one, if not 2 participants that cry at some point. And they have such a release of emotion, and when we debrief, they tell us all about it. We've helped a lot of people with grief here, that have, as a matter of fact, last Sunday, this just happened. I had a lady that, was crying, and then she started talking about her son that had passed, and she got a really good message during the equine meditation that everything was going to be okay. And we just get lots of different reports of, actually we chart outcomes too. We chart negative thoughts and feelings, the stress level, and your pain level prior to the equine meditation. And then we ask the participants again what level they're at on a scale of 1 to 10. And everyone's stress level always drops tremendously, not a little bit. It'll be like level 9 to then like a 2 or a 1. Or this lady I had last week, she had some pain going on in her body, and she was at a level 4 of pain, and she left at a 0.
That's awesome. That's brilliant, by the way. You're already giving me a new thing to try. Thank you, because I do that with my teenagers, to do the pre and post survey or assessment. That's brilliant, because that gives them the opportunity to reflect back how they feel too.
Absolutely.
So cool. You're playing that. So I read from your website. I have something very similar, by the way, and I'm stumbling, through the dark basically, but I'm listening to the horses is what I'm doing. So you bring them into the Serenity Circle. You do kind of a heart breathing meditation, correct? Is that the process? And then you bring them into the herd?
Well, so the participants, the people start at Serenity Circle, and I'll do a grounding meditation there first, and we'll do a little bit of heart focused breathing there. And also we incorporate pure aromatherapy, by the way. So for the horses as well. So I give everyone lavender and we're doing a grounding meditation at Serenity Circle. And then we move into the round pen, which is very close to the other circle.
Yeah.
And then that's where we do the equine meditation.
And then you have people sit in chairs, and then you're playing
Yes.
you're playing the flute and the panda drum. Is that correct?
I play Indian flute music over my Beats pillbox.
Oh, cool. Nice.
So because I have to keep the participants safe, so I have to be available I can't be playing an instrument. And also I'm guiding them through an equine meditation script.
Okay.
And so, but the panda drum, I have another staff member that's in the meditation with us to also look out and keep people safe. And then that person is who plays the panda drum.
Don't judge me too badly, because I'm playing the bowls and not having anybody.
Well, good. Hey, power to you. If you can multitask like that, good for you.
So, but I've worked so closely with the horses. And like you said, they go into a meditative state. It's so fascinating to watch them. And then the other thing is, I'm in a much bigger area than you are. I'm in a full size arena.
Right. And let me ask you, when you're in that full size arena and you have participants in a chair while you're doing this meditation, yes? Is that how you have your setup?
That's how I started out, but because we have like 20-degree temperatures lately, I started, and I have some really, since I'm just starting out, I have some people that are repeat participants, and they're gung ho, and they're letting me. They're giving me great feedback. So last few times I've been doing moving meditations, so walking meditations.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, because that keeps them, the energy moving, but that also keeps them warmer. And the horses are starting to come because that's one of the things anyway. So I want to hear more about
But do the horses come over by the participants when you're doing this walking
100%.
meditation?
Oh, 100%. And so Hunter is my is it Sousa? Hunter is just like your
like Seuss. Oh, Seuss.
Your Morgan. What's your Morgan's name?
Oh, Sozo.
So I love that. So he's very intuitive. He picks everything up. He's my lead. I call him the lead faculty member. So he's the one is working. Works with the 3 minis very well. The other,
that's good.
Yeah. So he's the one he'll come right over and he'll put his mouth or his his chin on your shoulder or on top of your head. And
wow.
I'm just like, or he'll walk with you. But yeah, so
okay,
but so
that's cool.
Yeah, so you're and then you're guiding people through this. This is so great for me to hear. Again, you're helping me quite a bit. But now I need to come visit. Anyway,
come on.
Another story, another time. But we'll talk. So then you're allowed, and then you finish with the people having an interaction with the horses somehow. Is that right?
Yes, we do. At the end, I'll let them interact with the horses and pet them.
Yeah.
We also do a gratitude goodbye carrot circle.
I love that.
So the participants get to give carrots and thank the horses and stuff. And I've done sessions also where I'll do a heart-focused breathing combined with mindful grooming. So instead of a sit-down guided meditation, I will do a heart-focused breathing, and then they're actually getting to groom the horses. That's another type of session that we do here, and that's very interactive. They get their hands all over the horses then, and mindfully. But
that's awesome.
Powerful stuff. I love it.
Yeah. So you're really. I mean, so I have to talk to you more about your other programs, because so you have the stable moments and the vibe leadership. Is that vibe?
Yeah.
And so which one's your backbone of do you feel like your organization?
Well, I would say, I mean, stable moments, we've been doing that since we opened, and vibe leadership came along a couple years ago, but they're stable. We also serve kids with autism.
Yeah.
Stable Moments is the curriculum that we use for children that are in the foster care system.
Yeah.
And that population, there's normally a lot of trauma that the youth have come from backgrounds of trauma, and we have served that population ever since we opened. And we do have a lot of kids in that program. And then we also work with kids with autism, and that's been a huge part of our population. The Vibe leadership, what's so cool about that is that, I had high school students that were volunteering here for us, and they would tell me how they loved being here because school, is very stressful, and then they would get here and the anxiety would just roll off their shoulders. And I realized there was all these leadership skills they were learning while they were here as well, that were personally benefiting them and helping make big changes in their life. And especially when this one student confided in me one day that he had started volunteering at the program because he was suffering a lot of depression and suicidal thoughts. But then he had been in my program he had been volunteering here for us, and the horses and being at the farm and everything just like changed his life completely. And that's when I really realized that, oh my gosh, I need to just have. It's a tough time being a teenager. I mean, I remember what it was like.
It's brutal. It's brutal right now. Yeah, we lucked out.
The hormones are all over the place, right? And there's bullying at school that takes place. There's social anxiety. COVID did not make that better for kids. We saw a spike in social anxiety and stress from that. And so I realized, well, I just need to have a program for these teenagers. And then we also were able to offer job opportunity to students that had been in the program, and if they were a good fit. We've given at least 5 different high school teenagers jobs here over the years.
That's awesome. That's so cool. So that's kind of a mentorship program then you're really offering for them to work with other students.
That as well. So our Vibe leadership students, after they've been in the program, and if we feel that they are interested in becoming a mentor for the participants that are like in stable moments, or they want to be a mentor to a child that has autism, the ones that we feel are interested in, if we feel they'd be a good fit, then we allow them to form training curriculum that is part of stable moments, and they can actually join the team and be a mentor to other kids. And we have had that situation many times, and it's such a win-win. It's good stuff.
So again, you're totally inspiring me. I just finished an 8-week program with teenagers at risk. And
lovely.
Yeah, and so I got a small grant, and I'm one.
Good for you.
I'm a one-person show right now, and doing all kind of figuring out on my own. But the one of the teenagers is volunteering for me right now, and
nice.
She totally wants to continue, and so I'm like, we got to get it. Yeah, we got to get a program going. But so your mentor, and then the stable moments is so that's more for the foster children and kids that are autistic, but the Vibe leadership is for middle school and high school students, correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
And so you must have a lot of volunteers helping you with all this? Is this?
I don't have a lot. I always have a small group, and there's a few reasons for that. But the group of volunteers that I do have, they are amazing. Nice. I've got a great group of adult volunteers right now, and they're rock stars. Every single one of them that I have on my team right now, I absolutely love. And we give out Volunteer of the Year awards at the end of the year and stuff like that. But thank goodness for the strong volunteers that we have.
Again, the teenagers are helping me out right now. It's like she's like, I want to share the good vibes. That's what she says to me. And you're doing that. You have the good vibes there. So I got to ask, because it's always, when you get to do this work, you get to see this. But can you think of the like one of the most remarkable transformations you've seen in one of your students?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got the students that I'm thinking of right now are still in my program. Actually, oh God, I'll tell you what's really rewarding as well. So I have several students that are in my program that have been with me for several years. One of them, you can see her interview. She's on our website in a video that's called Child Testimonial Video. And I can share her name with you. Her name is Daniela, and she has come such a long ways. And you can hear it right from her on that video. And then also there's a couple of other teenage girls in my program. And then there's a little boy that's in my program. And he's been with me for about 3 years also. And he was living at one of our local home shelters.
Mm.
And he was coming to the farm with a group we used to serve a group of the kids from the shelter. And then he was adopted. He got adopted, but he has an amazing mother. A single mom actually adopted him. And after the kids leave the shelter, we don't have any contact with them. We don't have a way to reach out and say, hey, do you still want to continue the program? Anything like that. But after he was living with his foster mom, and then she later adopted him. But he told her, he said, I used to go to Harmony Hope Stables and I'd like to go back there. And so she called me up, and he's been in our program ever since. So now he's been with me a total of 3 years. And this is the little boy that suffered severe trauma, severe neglect. He was literally living in the backyard in a shed, is where his grandparents were keeping him, in a shed. He'd never been to school, and he'd never even been around other kids. And finally, a neighbor realized that this little boy was living in a backyard shed, and they're the ones that called the police. And then that's when he was taken into custody and into the shelter. And so you can imagine like some of the symptoms that he, has struggled with. Struggles just to even trust people at all. And he has come so far. And his mother that little boy is on that video as well. Mm. And I have everything I just shared with you. His mother has given us the story release to share what I just told you. So you won't hear her talk about that on the video, but you will see her and him. And it's amazing how much our program has helped him. And he's going to start taking guitar lessons here. Wow. As well. We got a scholarship for him. So next week, he actually will be here for equine therapy and for guitar lessons. And I can't wait to see like the impact music has in his life as well, to have that instrument at home. It's nice to have some type of instrument in your home, because sometimes sometimes I go self-regulate myself. I'll go to my guitar and start playing, self-regulate myself, But so those are some of the remarkable stories. But
I got teary-eyed. So that's I've never heard a story that like that grim, where somebody came from that background. So what's he like now? How does he express himself? Who's his horse, by the way?
Oh, so he has had the opportunity to work with all the horses here, even horses that are not with us anymore. He's worked with all of them, and he loves Sozo. He absolutely loves Sozo. He does really well with him, but he's done well with the minis, and every horse teaches you something different.
Absolutely.
too. So his leadership skills have come so far. He feels very, very safe here at our farm, and he trusts our team. So I believe we've been a very good mentorship team for him as well, to show him that you can actually trust people, and I give credit to my whole team for that. We have FAU interns here on our property. We have our licensed clinical social worker. It's a big team effort to provide that empowering mentorship. And we've done that with him, and we're real proud of that. And another thing that came to my mind when you asked me the question was, just, I always love it when a student that's been here with us and then they, after a few years and then, they've moved on somewhere else and then they want to come back to visit us. And that happened recently over the holiday break. And another one of our students that was coming here from the shelter, she was adopted. And then she lives several hours away, but her adopted aunt lives here in Palm City. And so when she came back for Thanksgiving, she talks about Harmony Hope all the time. Her adopted mom has since now told me that she literally raves about us constantly. And the aunt called me up and she said, my niece talks about you all the time. Can we, she's here in town with me. Can we come by and visit? And it was so amazing. Like when she got out of the car, she came running to me and I hadn't seen her in about 3 years. And she was telling me how that her dream is to own a horse one day. And it's because of Harmony Hope. And she was just telling me how we made such a big difference in her life and that, like she was telling me she loves me and all this stuff. It was just so sweet. And that means we did something right,
100%.
We got, yeah. So.
So beautiful. Yeah. So again, congrats to you. Kudos for, providing that space for that amount of healing. So yeah, I saw also in the Vibe leadership program for the teenagers and middle preteens, you have a drug and alcohol awareness kind of. How are the students receptive to that, or are they receptive to that?
They are actually. It's all how you spin it and how you word it, right? And
yeah.
Frame it for them.
Yep.
So, yeah, I love that part of the program that we have. And so we're very blessed. Martin County believed in us, believes in our program so much that, we have been given a grant by them. And part of that is, and the part of the reason they love our program is it is a unique service, being able to have equine therapy here. And we are big believers in speaking out as much as possible about the harmful effects of drugs and alcohol. So some of the ways that we incorporate that is, if you follow us on Facebook, we made a post a couple months ago, and we gave the teenagers an assignment to, we had to create a video with horses at the farm, and it needed to be a video that was a drug alcohol awareness. And they got to create it and come up with an idea, but it had to promote, something about drug or alcohol and awareness. And I was so proud of these kids. They, what we did was at Serenity Circle, there's also a fire pit. And so we lit the fire pit and roasted marshmallows and made s'mores with them on their last day here before the holiday break. And I said, okay, what's the video you guys have come up with? And as we're roasting marshmallows, this one kid goes, you know what we could do, everybody? He goes, we could like reenact this is your brain and this is your brain on drugs. I'm like, how do you even know about that? And because he was referring to like the fried egg commercial.
Oh, that's definitely one I watched. I watched that one as a kid.
Right?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, God, yeah. It's still very vivid in my mind.
I'm like, how does this 16-year-old
How did he find that one? Exactly.
I mean, these kids, they don't even know who Dolly Parton and Elton John are, and Michael Jackson when I'm talking about. But he knew. And he said, I don't know, Miss Kristi, I came across it one day. Let's reenact it. So we had Sozo in the video with us, and all of them had a marshmallow on a stick. And so first he's like, we'll have our marshmallow and that'll represent the brain. And then we'll put it in the fire and see it all roasted, and that'll represent this is your brain on drugs. I'm like, this is so brilliant.
That is brilliant.
So we made that video, and it's actually on our Facebook page. It's one of the posts from the last couple months. You'll have to check it out. But so they created that themselves. But we do also, our licensed clinical social worker, she has a lot of material that she brings to the table, and and we talk about the harmful effects of drugs and what it does to your brain. And then so they do get that in the program. And then we've also done these Friday night done right events with Martin County. That's like one of their slogans, and they host events all over town for teenagers to attend. So here at our farm, whenever we are hosting a Friday night done right, we actually have another one come up in February, but we did this a couple times last year, and it was really, really effective. We call it the Songs for Sanity Friday Night Done Right. We start over at Serenity Circle, and we have live musicians here. And we have guitars and microphones, and we play songs for them. And then we also do open mic time so they can sing. And I was pleasantly surprised. They always want to do open mic. You know, these teenagers, I don't know.
Incredible.
We create a vibe here.
Yeah.
We kick off. We create a vibe to where they feel safe and like they're having fun.
Yep.
And they're not like, the ones that have the courage to get up there and sing. They're having a blast. And then we do Name That Tune, and we give them gift cards from local, like 3 Natives has partnered with us and given us gift cards for these kids. And then after we do that at Serenity Circle, we take them inside the barn and we let them interact with the animals in the stalls. And then we put on, we have more live music inside the barn because the acoustics are killer. It's so good in there. And then we have a presentation at the end of the evening, and it's a presentation that I talk them through. I lost my nephew, and ultimately it's opioids and drugs that he started using when he was a teenager, and it led him down a really dark, terrible path that landed him in prison. And then when he got out of prison, actually in prison, he joined the Irish Mafia and came out with all these gang tattoos. And then he got out and continued to use heavy, hardcore drugs all the time. And then ultimately, in 2021, he was running from the law, and he fled into the woods. And he was missing for 10 days. And then when they did another search to find him, they found him with a bullet in his head.
Jeez.
And so it's most likely was suicide. And so whenever that happened, my nephew Christopher was like a son to me, and it was really a very hard time. It still is. But I have to do something meaningful with that story. And so I share a song that I wrote during that time. So, grief is a crazy thing, and it's a very difficult journey to navigate. And I can tell you right now, thank God for my farm, and thank God for music, for my own personal healing. I wrote 4 different songs about grief during this time, and one of them was the song for my nephew. It's actually called One Bullet Away. And so at the end of the night of the Songs for Sanity event for the students, I put on a presentation, and I tell them about my upbringing and how when I was a teenager, I was partying and doing drugs and drinking, and I was, going nowhere fast. And that I tell them how at some point in your life, especially with you teenagers, you might be faced with people trying to offer you drugs and stuff at a party, and you're going to have to make some really wise decisions. And you can go, you're going to come to a fork in the road, and you got to decide which path you want to take. And I show them photos of my nephew when he was a baby and then growing up. And he's all these amazing photos of him until he's about 14. And then I put on this video presentation that goes with the song, and it shows them the song, and it shows him photos of him like drinking and doing drugs. And I've got photos of him all tatted up, and And then by the time you hear that song, you realize the end of Christopher's journey ended with, suicide. And it's really powerful. It's really powerful. And I didn't really know how the teenagers were going to perceive that the first time I did that presentation. And it was amazing because they were all like hugging me, and they were saying, "Oh my gosh, that was so powerful. I needed to hear that message." Or, "I've got a friend that's here tonight that my friend really needed to hear that message." And then basically then we end the night on a high note.
Mm-hmm.
And we end it with like we all start jamming out to "Lean on Me," the song "Lean on Me," and they all sing along. And I just tell them, I'm like, "Listen," I said, "you guys just for the last 2 hours that you've been here, I saw you cracking up, laughing, having a great time at Serenity Circle. You were loving all over the horses and the goats, and you've been singing songs and having a blast." I said, "So I just proved to you, you could do Friday night and be high on life, and you don't need drugs and alcohol." And it's really cool. We've done the event several times, and we have another one coming up next month, and I'm super excited about it. I'm so grateful to Martin County. The Martin County Community Action Coalition's amazing. The work that they're doing here in our town is just remarkable. And I'm really grateful that we get to partner with them on events like this. So that's a very long answer to your question. How we
Wow. Oh,
drugs
man.
and alcohol.
Oh, my. You just, you just opened up my heart like another level there. That's incredible. Thank you. And Dan, thank you for the farm. Yeah, I agree. Thank you for the farm. Thank you for the music. And thank you for the horses. They understand grief, right? We know this. And they, I have to ask, have you ever, this is you're giving me so many ideas as well, where I'm going to go next and how, but, have you ever, the horses, they have their own, I work with rescues, so a lot of them carry trauma. But before I forget, what you just did is so important. It is what kids are missing is like this, of sharing our own experience with them, because they're always, I was a school teacher briefly and I didn't last very long because it's not designed for that format, but it's like, this talk down approach, and I'm going to tell you what you need to know. And instead of like, "Hey, I honor you for that vulnerability and sharing what truly happened within you, that's the power." And then kids are so receptive, like horses. They're so receptive to that because they instantly pick up on it. And so, back to the horses. Have you ever given one of your horses a musical instrument to play?
I have.
Yeah, okay, tell me more. Because I avoid the word train a horse, because that's the other thing I think you already see from what you described. Avoiding the force model. That's mostly what we know about horses. We're going to force them, and we're going to train them, and we're going to tell them how to do it, just like we do at the public schools. So what was that?
We do everything, at liberty.
Yeah.
We like to, we don't want to force them into anything. So you're right on about that. You got to let horses be and interact how they choose to be. But,
So what instrument was it, and how what
well, a guitar, actually.
Okay. Oh, cool. All right. And what happened?
So I have this little turquoise guitar, and I'll tell you, it's really cool. It all is going to intertwine with a kid with autism here in a minute, but I just showed it to my little mini horses one day. And, horses are so curious about an object. They can't help themselves but want to come over and check it out, and so you just hope they don't want to eat it, but
or stomp on it and break it into pieces.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave any laying around their feet, that's for sure.
Yeah, right.
But my little minis, they came right over to this guitar, and they decided they wanted to play a string, and so they used their teeth and played a string, and it was the cutest darn thing. And they kept just using their mouth to play the strings on the guitar. And so, so one day, this family that had a little boy with autism, they called me up and they said, so we would like our son, Bryce. I can share his name. I'm very close with that family. Bryce was in our program for like 3 years, amazing student. But they said, Bryce, we think he might do good with equine therapy, but he's a little bit afraid of horses and he has noise sensitivities. Um, and mom's a piano player and dad's a guitar player, but they're like, Bryce has a lot of noise sensitivity. But we'd like him to, possibly come to your program. So we did an intake session and a meet and greet. And now, mind you, mom and dad's already said he's afraid of possibly horses, and he doesn't even want dad to play guitar at home sometimes, right? And so we're sitting and we're, doing this meet and greet. And I say to Bryce, hey, buddy, and I know he's going to tell me no. He's not going to let me play the guitar because why would he? He doesn't even want his own dad to play sometimes because of his noise sensitivity. So I pick up a guitar and I go, hey, Bryce, I said, do you mind if I play guitar right now? And he goes, no, 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 no. And he's holding his ears and he's going, no, 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 no. I go, okay, well, how about, would you like to go meet my horse Harmony and let her play the guitar? And because she likes to play this guitar too. And he looks at me shocked and surprised. and here's this little boy that might be afraid to even go meet the horses and definitely doesn't want to hear guitar sounds. And he looks at me and he's like what? Like a horse plays a guitar? And I'm like, yeah, let's go say hi to her. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's go. And I'm telling you, I was praying on the way to that paddock because I don't really know if Harmony's definitely going to come over and play this guitar. I'm like you said, I'm not going to put her on a halter and make her.
Right.
All I know is that we're going to go to the paddock on the opposite side of the fence because I got this little boy that's already possibly afraid of horses. We're going to stay on the opposite side of the fence and we're just going to see what happens. We take this guitar and we kneel down. And as soon as we start walking towards the paddock, Harmony starts walking towards us. And we show her that guitar through the fence. And Harmony, I swear Jesus answered my prayers.
They know. We know this. They know. They change their behavior with this with these kids with autism.
That's so true. And I swear horses are mind readers.
They
they know our
are.
intentions,
They pick it up before we do. So she came right over and just started plucking. What happened?
She came right over to the fence, poked her head through the fence, and strummed that guitar.
Crazy.
And when
incredible.
When that happened, that little boy started cracking up laughing. He thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then I'm like, Bryce, do you want to go in the paddock with her? And he's like, yes. We couldn't get him inside that horse paddock fast enough and him petting Harmony. And from that day forward, then he enrolled in our program. And we had Bryce here for a couple of years.
And did he eventually play guitar on his own? Bryce?
Matter of fact, Bryce plays the drums.
Okay.
He plays drums. And he actually, he got to learn from our many horses from the ground. Plus, we had our horse Frio, the rock star here at the time, and we were able to put him in the saddle. Bryce went on, this true story, kid you not, Bryce went on to compete in these special Olympic equestrians, and he won the gold medal last year in Ocala.
No, as a rider.
Yes, in the Special Olympics as a rider.
Wow, that's so cool. That's awesome.
He was here with us for a few years, and I told his parents, I said, he had such great posture in the saddle immediately. I'm like, Bryce has outstanding posture in the saddle, and I said, you might want to look at a program up in Vero Beach, and that's what they do. They take kids to the Olympics there and stuff. So. That's what he went on to do. And he plays drums.
Man, what another incredible story.
Yeah.
You've given me like 4 incredible stories. All right. So I really, this is so cool. And I want to just wrap it up with a couple questions because I know you're a busy woman. You have a lot of things.
Listen, I set this time aside for you today. I appreciate this interview just as much. And you seem like a really cool cat, and if there's anything I can do to help you in your journey, I'm so glad that you're you're offering this in Massachusetts, and you waited long enough for me. I was so busy with
Right.
that gala, I couldn't do this interview during that time. So I appreciate you waiting to interview me. So I'm not in a rush right now. Fire away your questions.
Okay,
Go
good.
ahead.
I'm glad, by the way, the time is it was worked on both our side, and then your gala went well, from what I heard too, or saw.
Mhm.
So congratulations. But yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah. To answer your question, I definitely want to follow up with you, and then yeah, I am just a giant kid just looking for that's why I get along with the horses, because I like to explore and play, but there's so much unfolding, and well, first I just have to ask, how do you see your organization grow, Harmony Hope Stables? What do you see growing in this next year?
Well, we are expanding right now to serve adults. And we actually, this last summer, we served the entire family with a grant that we received. But now we're starting to open to the public and for our equine meditation services. And we're starting to expand holistic services here and try to bring that to the farm even more, to have sound healing here, to have yoga here, to have um, just, be able to offer the farm to not just the kids in the program, but to open up a couple times a month, like to the public. So that's one of the things that we're doing. But we've seen a lot of growth since we've opened. And if you look at our annual reports on our website, you'll see that we've grown every year. And we hope to continue to do that in 2025, expand our services, even grow our team more. I had Kaiser University. I have a student that wants to do her internship here. So maybe we're going to partner with another college right now. And yeah, we'll just see where the universe leads us.
That's awesome. I think that's a very wise to start working with the families more. I was when I was doing some work with the kids that are autistic. You see how much the families have to, how much it puts on, how much they have to really go overdrive to. It's because it's a lot, so much. But
it is. It's a lot and not only the kids that have autism, the families that are like adoptive parents. There's a lot of behaviors and kids with trauma that they're trying to navigate, figure out how to be the best parents. And then parents have their own personal struggles going on, and sometimes there's leads all the way back to childhood that's unhealed stuff going on. And so, and then we just have daily regular life and stress. So yeah, we found out that, like, if we can help mom and dad and teach them some skills, then that's going to help their child that we're trying to help even more,
It's so observant, really. It's we don't live in a bubble. There's nothing isolated about any of this. And you're showing this and you're paving the way. So I got to just ask, because you seem like you have a really interesting tap on everything right now, but what do you see? How do you see our relationships with the horses changing?
I've learned and grown so much myself personally with the horses, and I've learned that we need to try to live in the present moment as much as possible. And I've learned that horses have taught me we use 4 different levels here in the way that we speak to our horses and to each other. So, like, are you familiar with, like, the liberty, the ask request?
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So we use that, we teach that here, and then we incorporate that incorporates into your personal life. When I'm being a mom or a wife, like, I try to remember to stay within those levels. So I don't know if that answered your question completely, but what was your question actually? How do we?
I think you said it. How we communicate with the horses. It's mostly predominantly force everywhere I go around Massachusetts. And
Yeah.
you're just giving that ask and receive model. That's huge.
Right. Yeah. We ask our horses permission to halter them, even.
I love that. I do
You
this. I do the
know.
same. I encourage every student to talk with the horses. By the way, that's another question for you. Do you
Hmm.
think? What do you think the? How do you think the horses understand our language? Is it something? Do you think they understand what we're saying, or is it something more?
I think that they definitely understand our language, but not always. They
Mm,
sometimes they're trying to figure us out, just
yeah.
like we're trying to figure them out. You know, so we have to pause. We have to pause and breathe and wait and listen and look. We teach the two number one things that we teach day one and every day here is heart focused breathing, and then we teach students how to understand the body language of horses and mindfully be looking at their body language at all times, because horses are nonverbal.
Yeah.
They don't speak English to us. So we have to learn how to communicate in their world to then be able to build a partnership with them. And it's everything is, not, listen, not 24/7 are we always able to like live by this, but we strive to as much as
You
possible.
have the intention. That's the key. When
Yes, so we ask them if they want to be haltered. Now there are times where it's about to rain and we
yeah,
got to
right,
get this horse
right,
haltered right now.
right,
I
right.
mean, my I have a trainer that I've had many trainers over the year, but my trainer taught me there's a get to and a got to. Sometimes,
Hmm.
you have just got to get this
Exactly.
done.
Yeah.
But she's also the trainer that taught me to be very mindful and to ask your horse if they want to be haltered, and you just gotta listen for their body language. And when we're grooming them, it's not about, okay, do the curry comb
Mhm.
in a
Yep.
circular motion
Right. Right.
counterclockwise,
Right.
and
Exactly. It's
I
like
mean,
or never walk behind a horse. That was one of those things. I explained that in a little bit more detail with the meaning behind that. But anyway, what was I going to say? That's so cool. It sounds like you got some good people. And
mhm.
yeah, the horses. I just seems like there's just so much more they're ready to they're waiting for us so patiently to come like wake up. But anyway, I
Yeah.
was gonna say um here's one thought. I have so many crazy ideas, so apologize, but since we're in the same time zone, what do you think about um we do a joint equine meditation, you in Florida, me in Massachusetts.
Oh, wait, okay, now how do we do that?
Well, so I'm big into the, here I am with all the tech stuff. I'm big into the kind of using the technology. But so basically, I have the recording equipment. You just plug your phone in and tap into Facebook Live or something like that.
Mhm.
And we kind of just, I don't know. I'm playing around as usual, but I'd love to. This is my way of like getting more into seeing your world, because it seems it just seems perfect. It seems perfect to me. I know there's challenges everywhere we go, but I'd love to like just
So,
doing something jointly with you.
like, how would that work though?
Well,
Like,
here's
how?
one of the very simple ways to do it is not even just we just time it at the same time. And
Mhm.
because energy travels
Mm, yeah.
everywhere, it doesn't matter. That's the idea, right? But the other thing is we could do it a post record, or like you record it on your phone, I record it on mine, and then I can do a post edit, and we can because I'm a data guy, like it sounds like you are too with your assessments, but I love seeing the reaction of the horses on a lot of it, and I record everything. But it could be as simple as just, hey, we just time it, we just schedule it at the same time. So
Mhm.
and that so we're and then we acknowledge our groups in, hey, I got my friend Kristi in Florida who's offering this at the same time. That just like wakes everybody up right there, right?
Yeah.
What? They're doing something there? Yeah, yeah.
That's what's cool about what you're saying is I just mentioned this to two of my team members last week when we were talking about heart focused breathing and the benefits and how powerful it is. And I said, wouldn't it be lovely if the whole world did heart focused breathing at the same time every day?
Absolutely.
You know?
Exactly.
And we kicked off our morning with some heart focused breathing, and the benefits last for 6 hours, right?
Yeah.
So then we have another siesta 6 hours later, and we all get together and heart focused breathe again across the world. I just wonder, would it be a more peaceful place?
I wonder too. I wonder too. It's to me, it's the herd mentality. When you get in the herd, you have all these great benefits. All right, well, let's talk about more of that. But,
yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Okay, good. And so, thank you, Kristi. To find more, you're at hhstables.org.
Yeah, hhstables.org. And then we also have a Facebook page and an Instagram that people can follow us there. And yeah, that's us.
Excellent. And if anybody wants to donate or volunteer, they can find you on the website.
Yes, and of course we're always in need of donations.
Yeah.
We are a 501c3 charity, and that's how we're able to operate, through donors and grants. And there is a donate button right on our website. Yes.
I think you have a sponsor a horse program.
We do. Yeah, we do have a sponsor a horse program. Yeah, we definitely need some of those right now for sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, this is so great. I'm going to tell Marianne she did good. Put me in touch with you, because this is perfect timing. And
cool. I'm glad.
So thank you. I can't thank you
enough.
And
best of luck to you with everything. Stay in touch, and it sounds like you've got some good stuff going on. I could learn from you as well. So just that walking meditation you were talking about today, I'm like, oh yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, walking meditation, barefoot walking, but I don't know that we'd be allowed to do that with the horses. But
you gave me an idea of doing the assessments, with the people doing the sound healing. I think that's so we learn from each other. It's never. I'm not going to have enough time in this lifetime to learn everything I want to. But
I know, definitely not about horses. There's so much to constantly learn. So let's stay in touch for sure, Cam. I really appreciate your time as well.
Thanks, Kristi. Have a great day.
Okay, all right, honey. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining this episode on the Centaur Podcast. I'm Cameron Adibi again, and please check out my website to learn more about what I do at CameronAdibi.com. That's CameronAdibi.com. I hope you enjoyed this discussion and gained some valuable insights. Don't forget to subscribe and tune in next time for more engaging conversations. Until then, take care.